Hello, my lovelies. It is me again on my own personal road to WrestleMania. Today, WrestleMania Goes to Hollywood. Little fun fact about WrestleMania 21. This is the first ever Money in the Bank ladder match. So let's get into it. WrestleMania 21, we are still in the brand split era, Raw, SmackDown. This WrestleMania happened April 3rd, 2005 in Los Angeles, California at the Staples Center, and the attendance was 20,193. Since we're in Hollywood, they did do some parody movie trailers, which I absolutely loved. They had Eugene, you remember Eugene. He played Forrest Gump. We had Stacy Keibler as Sharon Stone in Basic Instincts, and one of my favorite movies of all time, Pulp Fiction. Eddie Guerrero and Booker T playing the parts of John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson. So, I mean, gorgeous. Great way to start the show. First match on the card will go down in history for so many reasons, good and bad. That is the two tag team partners. So this never happened at a WrestleMania event. We're on SmackDown. The tag team champions were Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. What a dream team they are. They are tag team partners, but they go into WrestleMania still partners, but also rivals. Chavo Guerrero starts getting into the head of Eddie Guerrero, saying that Rey Mysterio is trying to one-up his tag team partner, and Eddie Guerrero starts to believe this. Months after this WrestleMania is when we'll get Dominic Mysterio on a pole match or whatever. Dominic Mysterio custody battle ladder match. So that's after WrestleMania. Match between the tag team partners, good friends, into rivals, lasts about 13 minutes. Two are so great at telling stories in the ring, really trying to one up each other. 13 minutes isn't all that long, but they really use their time wisely. Rey Mysterio hits a Hurricane Rana. That is a really hard word to say. I'm pretty sure it's an even harder move to hit, but Rey Mysterio hits it so well. Another person that's really good at it is Ricochet. It's like one of my favorite moves when you do it correctly because it just looks so fucking wild. It also looks very dangerous, but I mean, they're the professionals. What the hell do I know? 1, 2, 3. Rey Mysterio gets the win over his partner. And I do think that Eddie Guerrero at the end of this match is going to turn on Rey Mysterio, but he doesn't. He gives him a handshake. This will actually be Eddie Guerrero's final WrestleMania. As we know, he does pass away in November 2005. R.I.P. Eddie. I said I wouldn't do it again, but Viva la raza. The saddest Viva la raza. Like I stated at the beginning of the video, this is the first ever Money in the Bank ladder match. In this match, we had Chris Jericho, Edge, Kane, Chris Benoit, and Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin deserves better. More facts about the Money in the Bank. So Chris Jericho was actually the one to come up with this idea and create the Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank happened at WrestleMania between the years of 2005 to 2010 before it became its own pay-per-view event. Another thing that I want to kind of say about this Money in the Bank ladder match is it's really uncomfortable to watch many times Chris Benoit uses the headbutt. The idea of Money in the Bank was created by Chris Jericho. He pitched it on an episode of Raw, and Eric Bischoff signed off on it, naming the participants I said earlier as the wrestlers in the first ever Money in the Bank. Of course, this will go down in history. I love Money in the Bank so much. And the first ever winner of a Money in the Bank match would be Edge, the Canadian Dream Edge. He would use his briefcase kind of as a weapon, as most Money in the Bank winners do. Edge would go on to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase in January 2006. Cashed it in against John Cena, the WWE champion at the time. And he beat John Cena in about 2 minutes because this was right after John Cena had an Elimination Chamber match. Retained his title. A little sneaky Edge went in there. Now he is the WWE champion for 3 weeks. When John Cena retains it back. So first ever Money in the Bank winner is Edge. Love that for Canada. Here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. We are on to the Undertaker streak. This would be the 13th installment, and this will be the Undertaker versus Randy Orton RKO, which Randall Keith Orton RKO, which took me way longer to wrap my puny little brain around. Randy Orton versus The Undertaker. As we know, Randy Orton is now the legend killer, and what bigger legend to take on than The Undertaker. Randy Orton's ego was a little bit inflated at this time. He was the youngest, and I think is still the youngest WWE heavyweight champion. And while he is not the heavyweight champion at this WrestleMania, he was previously when he won the heavyweight championship from Chris Benoit at SummerSlam, and he would later lose it to Triple H from Evolution, which we will get into later. But back to WrestleMania 21. So we are getting The Undertaker versus Randy Orton. Previously to WrestleMania 21, Randy Orton, on his little egotistical streak, only 24 years old at this time, he slaps The Undertaker across the face because the legend killer wants to take on the legend. They go on to sign a contract to go to WrestleMania 21. And Randy Orton tells The Undertaker that his streak will go down is nothing but a myth because at this WrestleMania, it will be 12-1. Previously to this WrestleMania, as we do every year, we had the Hall of Fame. And who got entered into the Hall of Fame the night before? Well, that is Randy Orton's father, Bob Orton. Bob Orton does beg The Undertaker. He gets down on his knees. Please, please, please take it easy on my son. But he was not there to actually beg for The Undertaker to take it easy. Nay, nay. This was to set The Undertaker up from behind The Undertaker. Well, that is Bob Orton's son. Randy Orton gives him an RKO. They run out of the ring, setting up beautifully for WrestleMania 21. This is The Undertaker's streak. We got lots more to get through, so you already know what happens. The Undertaker does win. And like I've said previously, I really love The Undertaker badass in the ring more. But this match between Orton and The Undertaker, there was a lot of false finishes. Randy Orton gives The Undertaker an RKO, and he sits up very last minute. This match was great. Also during this match, Bob Orton, he's wearing a cast. He hits The Undertaker with it, but that does nothing. The Undertaker still wins. And just seeing, you know, Bob Orton, he got put into the Hall of Fame the night before, and then having him out helping his son, it was just a beautiful, beautiful cherry on top. This match between Randy Orton and The Undertaker lasts just a little bit more than 14 minutes. We're going to get into a women's match. So if you remember from WrestleMania 20, we had two women's matches, one with Sable and Tori Wilson, and they were all, it was like a tag team women's match, and it was for a Playboy cover. There was the second women's match for the WWE Women's Championship. This one, we got both of those kind of wrapped into one without the head shaving. This is between Trish Stratus. She is the WWE Women's Champion, and she is always love to see my Canadian queen. She is up against Christy Hemme, and she is with one of my favorite female wrestlers ever, but we will get into that. Essentially how this match is set up, Christy Hemme in April 2005, the same month, year of this WrestleMania. She is on the cover of Playboy, and Trish, I guess, shows a little bit of jealousy. She sets up for this match. Christy Hemme, you're not even really a wrestler. Now you're like this Playboy model. But Trish Stratus is crossing out Playboy magazine covers and stuff. These Playboy matches, I hope, you know, let's end them here. Christy Hemme is like, well, you know what? You might not think I'm a real talented women's wrestler, but I have somebody in my corner that's been helping me behind the scenes get into fighting shape. And who is it that is helping her out? Well, that is Lita, one of my favorites. One of my favorite female wrestlers of all time. This match lasts about 5.5 minutes. I do love Trish Stratus. Christy Hemme's great as well, but like this match, it was 5.5 minutes. Not much to get into. I didn't love it. Trish Stratus goes in as champion. She leaves as champion. Christy Hemme has Lita in her corner outside of the ring, and Trish Stratus and Lita are giving each other the eyes. It is what it is. This match happened. Playboy covers. Moving on. From one match of jealousy to another, we are going in to, I would call, one of my favorite matches of all time. Kurt Angle versus HBK, Shawn Michaels, Mr. WrestleMania. This match is the longest on the card. It is 27 minutes and change. and man, did they use every single minute of it. Was stunning, a work of art. A brief synopsis of how this match came about. Kurt Angle in 1996 won a gold medal in the Olympics for Olympic style wrestling. But in 1996, we also had Shawn Michaels in the Iron Man match against Bret Hart. Another one of my favorite matches of all time. Shawn Michaels zip lines down to the ring to have a 60-minute Iron Man match with Bret Hart, and Angle winning the Olympic gold, Shawn Michaels winning the WWF Championship. Both happened in 1996. So Kurt Angle, you know, he's a little bitter that he won his gold medal in wrestling, but all he heard about this year was Mr. WrestleMania. He wants to take Shawn Michaels in the ring, in sports entertainment world. And like I said, I will put this match in my top 10 of all time. All of these men are so amazing in their own right. Yes, Shawn Michaels is Mr. WrestleMania, but you know, Kurt Angle has no reason to be jealous. At the end, Kurt Angle gets Shawn Michaels in angle locks. Shawn Michaels, Mr. WrestleMania, being a veteran in the ring, he gets out of these angle locks a couple times, but Kurt Angle gets him in the final one. Shawn Michaels taps at WrestleMania, and it is a fucking sight to see. Can't say anything else about this match besides you have to see it if you haven't. If you have seen it, go watch it again. So good, and especially the storyline behind it. Just seeing Kurt Angle wanting to make a name for himself over Mr. WrestleMania, and oh, it was just high art. This next match, I'm just going to tell you what it was, and I'm going to move on with my life. It was 1 minute long. First ever sumo match at WrestleMania. The Big Show wanted to work with Eki Bono. I think I'm saying that right. Correct me if I'm wrong. Eki Bono defeats the Big Show. Big Show gets moved on out of the circle that they have to move each other out of. It's a sumo match. Lasted 1 minute. Big Show shows Eki Bono as match. High respect. I understand that it is the traditional wear, but for some reason, seeing the Big Show in that sumo outfit will forever haunt my eyeballs. If you're like me, there is only one main event, no matter how they name it, no matter how they bill it, there is one main event of every show. But this show, there's kind of two, and we're gonna start off with the first main event. It was for the WWE Championship on the SmackDown brand. WWE SmackDown champion going into this, and that is JBL going up against John Cena. It is so cool just watching these WrestleManias, going back and rewinding and seeing WrestleMania 19. John Cena was on Sunday Night Heat, so taped right before WrestleMania, and he was doing a rap battle with cardboard cutouts of Fabulous and Jay-Z. WrestleMania 20, he went first on the WrestleMania card up against Big Show for the United States Championship, which he won. WrestleMania 21, he is the first main event, which is really cool to see his progression just watching these WrestleManias back to back. It's making me have a new appreciation for John Cena because he just always went out there and got the job done. John Cena with his WrestleMania 20 win the United States Championship, and he had his spinner belt. JBL was kind of calling John Cena at this time trash. Like, why would you do that to the belt? You're just, you know, not having such kind words. JBL saw the spinner United States Championship belt kind of defacing it, devaluing it, but also being disrespectful. And previously to WrestleMania 21, John Cena would finally lose the United States Championship to Orlando Jordan, which was part of the Cabinet, which is a WWE stable, including JBL. So we have the feud between JBL and John Cena going back and forth. SmackDown GM at the time was Teddy Long. And Teddy Long enforced a rule that if John Cena were to attack JBL before WrestleMania 21, that he would be forfeiting his WWE Championship match at WrestleMania 21, so no contact clause. That rule can be broken if JBL strikes John Cena first. Of course, this causes some back and forth between John Cena and JBL even more because John Cena is just trying to antagonize JBL to hit him. And he's like, you fucking lay a hand on me, I will drop you to the ground. Goes on to spray paint JBL's car. He puts water in his cowboy hat and puts it on JBL's head, but JBL cannot hit him or he's going to get dropped by John Cena. And then on the other hand, we have JBL, and he takes the United States Championship spinny belt that John Cena loved so much. He puts it in a trash can and literally like presses a button and it explodes. So at WrestleMania 21, we have JBL come in with a bunch of security. He comes in his limo, but you know, he has all this security around him because it's JBL. But during his entrance, there are $100 bills raining down into the crowd, but of course they have JBL's face all over them. This match only lasts about 11 and a half minutes long, and JBL goes in as champion, but John Cena does win. JBL does kind of have a lot of control over this entire match, but at the very end, John Cena does duck a clothesline from hell. He turns it into the FU and wins the title. What I really loved about the end of this match, not only did John Cena win, and I'm still heavily against JBL for the whole Blue Meanie situation. Yes, I know the Blue Meanie has moved on, but I have not. It was very nice to see John Cena win the title. That being said, when he jumps into the crowd and he lets one of the people sitting front row hold the belt up, it's just such a beautiful moment. You can tell that he loves connecting with the crowd. Absolutely loved this moment for himself, and I'm so happy for him. It was great. Actually, the match was kind of bland for me, to be completely honest. But now we're going to go into the real main event, and that is Batista versus Triple H. Was phenomenal. So let's get into it. Let's do a quick rundown on why this match happened. First and foremost, we had a faction called Evolution. So Evolution, at the time, we had Batista, Randy Orton, and Ric Flair. Well, at one point, Triple H did weasel his way into this faction. Previously to WrestleMania 21, Triple H would lose his title match, but Randy Orton win a battle royale, giving him a shot at the heavyweight championship for the Raw brand. In the build to SummerSlam, Evolution was by his side. He was on track to become the WWE's youngest world heavyweight champion. Evolution's main concern at this point was to keep the WWE heavyweight champion within the Evolution faction. Of course, going into SummerSlam 2004, the WWF heavyweight champion was Chris Benoit. So because he won this battle royale before SummerSlam, Randy Orton would be taking on Chris Benoit, and of course he would win. On a Raw in August 2004 after SummerSlam, Chris Benoit does get his rematch, but with an RKO. Randy Orton does retain, and this is when we get that iconic turn and the thumbs down from Triple H. So after Randy Orton does retain his WWE Heavyweight Championship, Batista lifts Randy Orton up on his shoulders. Evolution gets in the ring and celebrates with Randy Orton. He is still champion. The WWE Heavyweight Championship is still in the hands of Evolution. Triple H does not like this. He wants his belt back, and he's going to do whatever it takes. Then at one point, asks Randy Orton to just give him the belt. Sir. Batista drops Randy Orton, and Triple H attacks Randy Orton. And this is the turn of the century, I swear to God. I mean, there's a few turns that actually make me sad. This one does, because Triple H wasn't even a founding member of Evolution. What are you doing? Just get out of here, stop it. Now, fast forward from that Raw to WWE Unforgiven, September 12th. We had a match between Randy Orton and Triple H for the WWE Heavyweight Championship, and I'm rolling my eyes. Triple H gave Randy Orton the pedigree on a steel chair, and he ended up winning the championship back. That brings us to April 2005 between Batista and Triple H, and this is because Batista starts to realize, hey, Triple H doesn't care about Evolution. He just cares about himself. He's just proven that with Randy Orton. If I were to ever win, what goes to say that this isn't going to happen to me? Batista also catches Triple H and Ric Flair having like a private moment backstage talking about how Dave is too Dave stupid to pretty much do anything. I don't want to say this means Dave turns on Triple H because Triple H really did this to himself. Sets up for WrestleMania 21, David against Trips. Of course, we're going to get Ric Flair. He is still in Triple H's corner. He does get involved in this match, but like sit this one out, big man, you know? Well, I don't like this match more than I liked the Kurt Angle versus HBK match. This match was super solid. I had a really good time during this match. Another point in this match is when the referee gets knocked down and Triple H gives Batista a low blow. And I thought at this moment, the match was over, but nay. Close pin, but no cigar. Batista does kick out, and a beautiful full circle moment is when Batista gives Triple H the thumbs down, just like he did to Randy Orton. He gives him a Batista Bomb, and this match is over. Batista is the new WWE Heavyweight Champion, and I absolutely loved that moment. This was great. You let me know what you think of Batista. Give me your favorite Batista matches, because I need to watch some. That's my quick rundown of WrestleMania 21. I'm going to give this WrestleMania a 7.2. There were some great moments on this card, but it just felt a little more lackluster, especially after watching WrestleMania 18 to 20. You let me know what you think. Do you like this WrestleMania more than the previous three that I was talking about? 18, 19, 20. Do you like this one more than those? You let me know, but I will see you guys next week for WrestleMania 22. Holy shit, let's go.